to Radio Express World News, presented by Vibha Ramesh, Los Angeles, United States. The $600 a week unemployment benefit that was supporting 30 million Americans ended Friday with little clarity on the way forward as the negotiations ended with White House officials and Democrats blaming each other. Sources have it that the Congress might replace the $600 with something else, but is not sure by how much and by when, as the Senate adjourned for the weekend without taking a decision whatsoever. Without the federal aid, an average person will now make $321 a week from the state. Early Friday morning, the collaborative effort of the IRS, FBI and 3 others culminated in the arrest of 3 men that were the brain behind the biggest security and privacy breach of Twitter. The hackers tricked Twitter users nearly 415 times to the tune of close to $117,457. One of the largest deals was announced on Friday as the federal government had made an agreement with French drug maker Sanofi to secure 100 million doses of its experimental coronavirus vaccine. To this effect, the Trump administration's investment in coronavirus vaccine projects stands at over $8 billion. With the need for more testing and timely availability of test results, the testing czar, Admiral Brett Giroir, stated that getting all coronavirus tests back in 2 or 3 days is not possible today given the demand and the supply. However, it's an absolutely achievable benchmark in the future. Moving on to coronavirus statistics, New Jersey hit a 35% hike in new infections this week with 699 new cases recorded on Friday alone. Commenting on the spike, Governor Phil Murphy said, "The numbers are setting off alarms. We are standing in a very dangerous place." With 257 fatalities on Friday, Florida broke its record of most deaths for the 4th day in a row. While Mississippi recorded a single-day high of deaths at 52, North Dakota reported a new one-day record of 164 infections. Outdoor dining in New York City has been expanded to 15 more streets, bringing its outdoor dining program to 62 locations. In effect, these locations will be closed to traffic on weekends, as announced by the mayor. Moving on, history repeats itself as the British economy reels under the effect of its worst recession since the Great Frost of 1709. The absence of tourists and office workers have a direct bearing on steep economic losses. Although shops and restaurants have the permission to remain open, customer footfall has come down 72% in mid-July as compared to last year. Tightening the restriction due to the recent surge, Britain has banned millions of people in northern England from meeting members of other households even at their homes. Further, the initially scheduled reopening for August 1st has been stalled and mask wearing has been mandated in more places. These new rules were imposed after the country recorded 38 new coronavirus deaths and almost 900 known new infections in 1 month. Eid al-Adha was celebrated across India with prayers at home and in mosques while maintaining safety measures. On the 100th death anniversary of Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid homage to the icon and shared his thoughts on the veteran. The dire need for medical products during the pandemic has led to the disingenuous endorsement of medical products using fake certificates. In effect, low-quality masks, ventilators, oximeters and the like were sold to hospitals and medical practitioners, putting the safety of healthcare workers and patients on the edge. A record spike of 57,118 cases on Saturday landed the total number of active cases at 565,103 and death toll at 36,511. It's not just Britain but all of Europe that's facing a brutal recession. The GDP dropped by 11.9% from April to June in the European Union and by 12.1% in those countries that use the euro currency. This translates to a 14.4% dip in European economies and 15% in Eurozone economies on an annualized basis. Moving over to France, health authorities reported an increase in new cases over the past week as also a rise in hospitalizations. According to Santé Publique, the primary mode of transmission is through the community and is accelerating among young adults between 20 and 30 years of age. Consequently, authorities have tightened preventive measures including social distancing, public mask wearing and avoidance of handshakes and hugs. Meanwhile, in Africa, the lack of adequate testing is raising fears of not being able to track the pandemic as well as a consequent surge in new cases. According to the International Rescue Committee, the Dark Continent may need assistance from international countries to increase their testing capacity, without which it could lead to an undetected and uncontrolled outbreak. Citing the pandemic, the Hong Kong government has postponed September legislative election by 1 year. The pro-democracy opposition viewed this decision as a brash attempt to hinder its electoral momentum and prevent the defeat of pro-Beijing candidates. The delay hit the opposition politicians hard as they had expected a clean victory in the fall. Commenting on the postponement, Carrie Lam, Hong Kong's chief executive, said, "It is a really tough decision to delay, but we want to ensure fairness, public safety and public health." Vietnam, on the other hand, is battling a fresh outbreak after over 3 months of no locally transmitted case. To this effect, it recorded its first death since, that of a 70-year-old man with a predisposed medical condition who tested positive for coronavirus on Sunday and died on Friday. In another case, Japan reported 1,305 new cases on Friday, even as the governor of Tokyo, Yuriko Koike, strengthened safety measures yesterday. To end today's news, Italy may serve as an example as the country that most efficiently addressed the pandemic. The country that was once the epicenter of coronavirus with daily high records of infections and fatalities has now flattened the curve. A lesson or two that can be gleaned from Italy: it maintained a stringent nationwide lockdown. Easing of restrictions was strictly based on reduction in case counts. Its government was constantly guided by scientific and technical committees. Medical staff ensured meticulous collection of data for continuous monitoring and decision-making. And finally, the country continues to limit travel from elsewhere. With that, we come to the end of this news bulletin. Thank you for joining us. Please stay tuned for the next program on Radio Express. To receive Radio Express English news and English programs in your WhatsApp, please send a WhatsApp message, English programs, to 90727 95547. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Radio Express. Thank you.